Here we go again. So it's no secret now that the whole ordeal of, like changing the race of a character has become much more prominent in movies and TV than ever before. It seems like every time you go and watch a new movie that's based on an already established character or a historical drama based on real events, there's at least a few good individuals who seem a bit, let's say, out of place. Now, in an ideal world, my opinion on this whole thing would probably just go something like this. Yeah, sure, I don't really see the problem, as long as the actor was genuinely just the best for the role. I don't really care who plays them. At the end of the day, it's just entertainment anyway, right? And I mean, you can't really deny the truth in this statement when you look at characters like Nick Fury, MJ, Heimdall, James Gordon, Catwoman, and probably the most famous being Red from Shawshank Redemption. They all played their roles extremely well, and their race just wasn't a big deal. But you see, in the modern day, there's just more at play here than simply just the best for the role. Because as I am sure that you're also very aware of, these same movies and shows as of late have also felt rather predictable, repetitive, and just very, very lazy. The white man who's a bumbling idiot, the female character who's superior to everyone else in every way, even though she's gone through none of the trials and tribulations it would take to get there, and the unshakable feeling that what you're watching is trying to push some kind of message. Well, my good fellow, you're not the only one, and I imagine that you clicked on this video because you knew right away that we'd have some kind of common understanding. Either that, or you already think I'm a racist and you're just here to, like comment something mean to try and put me in a bad light because I don't conform to your agenda. Well, either way, I appreciate your time. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, shall we? So, there's been 2 new releases as of late in movies and TV that have sparked, quite the controversy. Just over a month ago, there was the release of the new documentary series Queen Cleopatra, a historical drama / documentary that follows the retelling of her life story as she fights to protect her throne, family and legacy. Anyway, since it's been out, it's gone on to receive some of the worst Rotten Tomatoes scores in the website's history. And it's had a tremendous amount of backlash for not just being complete and utter shit, but also because of the show's very prevalent and unmissable fact that Cleopatra is now black. And just a couple weeks ago, the new Little Mermaid movie also made its way onto the big screen, which has gone on to barely top the film's budget. It's projected to be just, another Disney failure. Whoa, no way. And ever since its announcement over 3 years back, but especially since the release of the first trailer, has also faced a lot of backlash for several reasons, mind you, but one of them being the very prevalent and unmissable fact that Ariel is now black. Now, going back to the statement I said earlier about how, this shouldn't really be a big deal, I still think that in most cases it's true. At least, in an ideal world. But as you probably know at this point, we do not live in an ideal world. And the very people who are defending these race swaps by saying, oh, it's just entertainment, it's fiction, it's not a big deal, are actually complete and utter hypocrites. And because they only say this when it fits their agenda, and not the other way around. Don't believe me? Well, let's take a look at some examples of these same people going absolutely crazy over some other so-called, race swaps. James Franco after being cast as Fidel Castro, even though they look really similar, because he's, not Latino. Naomi Scott after being cast as Jasmine in Aladdin because she's not dark enough. The cast of the live-action Lilo and Stitch getting abused online, even though they're all literally Hawaiian, for also not being dark enough. Halle Bailey being cast as Ariel, even though worldwide she's literally recognised as white with red hair. Oh my god, slay! It's funny how race never plays a part when it comes to a white character that's being replaced, and the argument of, oh, they're just the best for the role, it just completely goes out the window. I mean, James Franco looks just like Fidel Castro, but no, he's not Latino, so boycott. F me, even John Leguizamo had something to say about this one. I mean, mate, didn't you literally play Luigi in that Mario Bros movie, who's of Italian descent? Anyway, so now that we have the, hypocrisy out the way, let's just go on to the fact that these projects of race-swapping characters have also, well, evidently just not been very good. Now, I haven't seen either of these because the evidence speaks for itself, and race-swap or not, I just wouldn't have given a shit about them anyway. But the reason that I actually do care is because these 2 projects are part of a bigger picture, and alongside the, clear double standards that woke Hollywood has in place, they're now using race as a defense for why people are criticizing and won't see their project. Because it can't possibly be the fact that the project is poorly written, is dragged out way too long, the visuals are astonishingly bad, and that there's a clear and blatant push of identity politics that could be damaging the quality of your project. No, it's because the main character's black, and you're racist. Of the 3.6 million people who disliked the trailer for The Little Mermaid, the majority of those people didn't dislike it for any of those other reasons. It's simply because the main character is black and you're racist. Of the critics and audience that saw your documentary, they didn't demolish your project because it was painful to watch and because you've insulted Egypt, Greek mythology, and all of the experts in this area of research by changing the race of this historical figure. No, it's because she's now black and you're racist. Okay, so taking the same logic, let's make a black Spider-Man movie where the project is actually well written, has great visuals and character arcs, is diverse but doesn't shove it in your face, actually distinguishes our main character from Peter Parker in several ways, and watch it, crumble to pieces when no one watches it because, as you say, people don't watch movies when the main character is black. Because, they're racist. Oh, funny how that works, isn't it? I don't know, maybe those millions of racist people online took a holiday this week or something. Now, I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but it's clear that feelings play a big part in all this happening in the first place. They feel like Halle Bailey was the best for the role. They feel that Cleopatra was black. They're angry that no one saw their movie, and so now they're playing the race card because of feelings. So Hollywood, have you ever sat to think that maybe when you're out to tell a story based on an already established figure, your feelings don't actually matter? Have you ever sat to think that just because you feel something is true, it doesn't actually make it so?
I imagine her to have curly hair like me and a similar skin colour.
I imagine that she was a Ferrari F430 that flew through space. Just because you can imagine something doesn't actually mean it's reality.
Just because your grandma told you when you were 5 years old and you were easily influenced that Cleopatra was black, it doesn't make it true. When making a movie or show, how you feel should only matter when it comes to the quality of the project, and if you feel that it stays true to your vision, and you feel that the audience you're making it for will enjoy it as much as you did making it. You cannot expect to push your own messages or agenda based on your own feelings through the project you're making, and expect the rest of the world to conform. It doesn't work that way. Man, the time where movies were made by fans for the fans is just long gone, and there's really only a select few people that I can think of who actually made or worked on a movie where they actually acknowledge the fact that the movie was made with the audience coming first. Because at the end of the day, the audience are the people who are actually going to watch this thing and give you the money. So when you play the race card and criticize people who you're trying to appeal to and calling them racist for not seeing your project, why do you somehow think that they'll even remotely want to go and see your project now? I mean, isn't it a basic social skill that if you compliment or show appreciation for someone first, then in the case of movies, they're actually way more likely to watch your project? But see, you've let your selfishness and feelings become your #1 priority, and that's just not how you make money or gain a following. And there's really only so much time that you have left before you must cave in and acknowledge the clear evidence that no one agrees with you on everything, and that the audience must always come first, not you. So, I'll give my final take on all of this once and for all. Changing the race of an already established character or historical figure is a very, very lazy way to get the representation that you want. I'm all for representation, but if you're going to do it with something new, exciting and original. Don't take something that already is and then change it to fit your agenda. And I actually think that it's more racist to change the race of a character that already exists, as it basically goes to show that you don't think they deserve their own original stories. Like, I don't give a shit what someone looks like or their gender or any superficial traits, as long as the story makes sense, has characters that I care about, and ultimately cares about its audience. Because the movies I've talked about today are none of those things, and that's why no one cares about them, and that's why they're ultimately shit. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. I won't force you though, of course. And I will see you in the next one very, very soon. Bye.